Wilson has designed a line of tennis shoes specifically for women. Today at Tennis Warehouse, we are testing out the Wilson Intrigue Tour. Join us on court for the full review. I'm absolutely obsessed with the Wilson Intrigue Tour shoes. I have been wearing them for months, and I'm gonna start from the beginning. I'm so excited that Wilson is pulling from their heritage. They actually brought out the Intrigue line in the 90s and designed by a woman for women. And this shoe is an awesome representation of that original Intrigue shoe. These are made specifically for women and they fit my feet perfectly. I have medium width feet, a high arch, and the second I stepped into these shoes, I had zero break-in, felt that cushioning so plush under my feet. They keep referencing they made this to be like a race car, and I really felt like my feet fit perfectly inside this shoe, just like I would want to sit perfectly inside a race car. The support and stability is on point. I never felt like I was gonna be let down by this shoe. And even the rubber underfoot, for me, it feels really soft at contact and the traction is just right. So I never felt like I was slipping and I never felt like I was stuck. This is a shoe that I completely go to whenever my feet are sore or tired or I just need something very comfortable, and it has been one that I have been recommending to players everywhere. I actually have recommended it to some pro players that are wearing it now on tour, and I think it's just all around awesome. I literally can't say enough good things. I had one tiny complaint about this shoe. I was wearing it a ton, outside, inside, off the court, on the court, and my shoes are looking a little dirty and a little stained on the upper. That's literally my only issue. All in all, this is one of my favorite shoes. It is my shoe of choice at the moment, and I can't wait to try it in more colors.
I'm gonna start it off saying I have a bit of a different foot type than Michelle. I have wider feet and a lower arch. And as soon as I slipped my feet into these shoes, there are a couple things that I noticed. Underfoot, they were very, very comfortable. I also really liked how the laces could cinch the shoes up. And I felt really comfortable initially, but as soon as I started playing, it's when I noticed the fit was a little bit narrow in the forefoot for me. As I was up on my toes, shuffling around the court as you would, I was getting some pinching on the lateral sides of like right where my pinky toe would be. And so for the first 2 to 3 hours, I was really feeling that pressure. As I started to wear them more, the uppers did relax and I was not having that pinching sensation. However, there was a little bit of pressure on that lateral side. And as the uppers relaxed, I did notice toward the end of the play test that I wasn't really sitting down inside the shoes. My wider feet were sitting on top of the shoes. And as those uppers relaxed, I was finding that the support levels were compromised a bit. However, I still enjoyed a really comfortable feel underfoot. I felt very protected as I was running on the court, and I really liked that soft feel and really enjoyed that aspect. And I thought the breathability was also good. Traction was good. I thought they were grippier rather than slick, but I always felt sure of foot. Overall, I really loved the cushioned feel of these shoes. They do feel really soft. However, they just weren't the best fit for my wider feet.
I have play tested many Wilson shoes, but when Wilson presented this Intrigue Tour a couple months ago, I was super excited to get it on my feet. And when I got my hands on them, I was not disappointed. First and foremost, I really love the look of these shoes. I feel like it's retro and modern. I can wear it on court and off court. So really wanted to get these shoes on and try them out right away. And when I did, I was not disappointed. Like Michelle, I really loved the fit of these shoes. Now I have the narrowest foot on the play test team, but I thought that the shoe really fit my feet well. The length was perfect. I didn't have a lot of extra room inside, which can sometimes be a problem for me. The toe box was perfect. And so overall, I was able to go right down to the court and start playing without any break-in period. I thought the shoes were extremely comfortable. The uppers were nice and soft and flexed well. There was cushioning underfoot, and I thought the more that I played with the shoe, the better and more comfortable it felt. I thought the cushioning was really molding underneath, and so I really enjoyed the overall play test. And now my favorite feature was the combination of support and stability combined with a lightweight feel. I really look for shoes that have extra support and stability when I'm moving around aggressively, and these did everything I needed. My ankles were nice and secure. I felt really secure within the shoe as well. My feet were staying nice and locked in feel. I also loved how quick I could move in these shoes. They're nice and lightweight feeling, and I love that I could come in and out of my shots with ease. Now, I had a tournament that I was playing recently, and I did choose these as my shoe of choice. I just loved their overall performance. I really have no negatives. Only thing I could think of was maybe at the beginning, the traction was a little bit on the stickier side, but I felt within a couple hours, the traction kind of smoothed out, and I was really able to grip the court well and feel that I was really connected to the court without feeling stuck. Overall, the Intrigue Tour is gonna be one of my top shoes for this year.
Going into this playtest, I honestly wasn't really sure what to expect, but in the end, I ended up absolutely falling in love with the new Wilson Intrigue Tours. When I first put them on, I honestly couldn't believe how comfortable these felt. I had a huge smile on my face as I was walking around the office, just trying them out, because I thought this cushion is just incredible. And it's been a long time since I wore shoes that were this nicely cushioned. Even after, like 20 hours on the court, the cushioning didn't really go away at all, so that was a really nice plus, and honestly, it was the highlight of the playtest for me. Even though the shoe feels really soft underfoot and also the upper is just as soft, it still didn't lose any of the support that it was giving me, so I still felt nicely supported moving out of my shots, and I felt nice and solid on the ground. I also love just how lightweight these shoes were. I felt super speedy on court, and that was just a plus that I also felt very nice and connected to the ground. Durability-wise, I basically have zero complaints. I put so many hours on these shoes, honestly probably way more than I do in a normal playtest, and I only saw just a little bit of wear on the outsole, but nothing significant, and I also know that the outsole comes with a 6-month durability warranty. Now, I would give these shoes a 10 out of 10, and the only reason I'm giving them a 9.5 is because the outsole was just a little bit too sticky for me. I prefer shoes that let me slide out of my shots a little bit and just to adjust out from my shots just a bit easier. And even after 20 plus hours, the outsole still stayed pretty sticky. So that's just the one thing, that's my personal preference, and that is the only reason they're not absolutely perfect. But honestly, I feel bad for the guys because I know this shoe was made for women, by women. So I'm sorry you're missing out, because this is absolutely an amazing option.
I can honestly say this shoe exceeded my expectations, and it offered the 3 top things I look for in a shoe, which is comfort, stability, and lightness. After trying the new Wilson Intrigue Tour, I realized that for high-performance shoes, they can still be comfortable without having to compromise support and stability, which are the main things I look for in a shoe. I was honestly very impressed with everything that the shoe had to offer. I first want to talk about the fit of the shoe, which is where I think people will gravitate more to trying out this new Wilson Intrigue Tour. The shoe has a nice fit, it's true to size. It offers a medium to narrow width with a very nice toe box, which is very rare for high-performance women's tennis shoes. It does offer way more room compared to other shoes, but it doesn't compromise stability and support. Another highlight for me in the shoe was definitely durability. After playing in them and coaching them for several hours, I could see barely any wear on the sole. And not only that, Tennis Warehouse does offer the 6-month sole warranty. So if you're actually able to make a hole through these bad boys, you can change them, which is really nice. The only thing was the traction. I thought the shoe was a little too sticky for my likings, but that was not a downside for me. It didn't affect me on anything. If I were to compare this shoe to another Wilson shoe, I'll probably compare them to the 4.5 that I was able to also review that shoe. And I gotta say, this new Wilson Intrigue Tour fit better, were more comfortable, and have better breathability. And that was an issue I had with the 4.5, that my feet kept getting too warm. But in this case, it didn't happen. Overall, I truly believe this shoe is a hidden gem. I did not only felt good playing in them, but I also think the shoe looks pretty clean. This is a great option for women players that are looking for a more light, great support, comfortable, with a wider toe box type of shoe. Thanks for watching, guys. For more information on this shoe or any others, please visit our website, Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, and Tennis Only.